stop it.
That makes 3, 4, 5, 6.
We're all ready to go. Go, Suzanne.
Make sure that see the top half of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to sit down? First of all, thanks for sitting through this. My father was a warrior in Onion classes. He didn't just fight in World War II, though. He was a prayer warrior. He prayed for his wife, he prayed for his children, and he prayed for anyone and everyone who asked him to pray. He woke up sometimes at 4 in the morning and you would see him down on his knees praying or reading the Bible. He also wrote letters to other people, and in them he would say a prayer or write a prayer. He always prayed in the moment. Prayer is vital, especially in the past year with Katie being sick. Prayer has been what has been sustaining us. From Billy Graham's book, The Journey of 2006, he says this: "For many people, prayer isn't a joy but a burden. When they fail to pray, they feel guilty. When they do pray, they worry that they might not be doing it correctly. Or their prayers are wooden and lifeless, perhaps only repeating words learned in childhood, but never engaging their minds or their hearts. But this is the opposite of what prayer is supposed to be. Prayer shouldn't be a burden, but a privilege God has graciously given us because He wants our fellowship. Central to any relationship is communication. It's true on a human level, and because what kind of relationship do two people have who never talk to each other? I've prayed for as long as I can remember, obviously with my father being such a good example. I feel that it's our privilege, not just a duty, to be able to converse with our Creator. I'm convicted we need to pray in the moment when we're requested to pray. We know it's important to pray, but we need to grasp the magnitude of the responsibility to pray with and for someone who, the moment that someone requests us to do that. We need to pray in the moment. Today I want to encourage everybody to always pray in the moment. When someone asks you to pray, that stop right that minute, however you're communicating with them, and pray for them. In the next few minutes, we'll talk about 3 things. We understand that prayer changes the heart. It changes the subject of the prayer's heart, and it could change the heart of the situation if God desires. We know how to pray. That's the second one. And we're called to pray. Galatians 6:2 says to carry each other's burdens, and this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Prayer can change your heart. Seek first the kingdom of God, Matthew 6:33. The best way to seek God is obviously to talk to Him. In the movie Shadowlands, great movie, C.S. Lewis, when he hears his wife's cancer is in remission, is rushing to get ready to go see her in the hospital. His friend Harry says to him, "Oh, I know how hard you've been praying, and now God is answering your prayers." And C.S. Lewis replies, "That's not why I pray, Harry. I pray because I can't help myself. I pray because I'm helpless. I pray because the need flows out of me all the time, waking and sleeping. It doesn't change God, it changes me." So we know how to pray. Most of you know the ACTS, Adoration, Confession, Thanksgiving, Supplication. I suggest that we turn those around a little bit, and perhaps we confess first, and then do the adoration and thanksgiving and supplication. Put them in a little bit different order. And don't forget the listening part. Billy Graham is quoted as saying, "Prayer is the two-way conversation with God." And if that's really true, then we really need to make sure that we put the listening part in when we do the prayer. In our communication textbook by Sealer and Beale, this is the Chinese symbol for listening. The left side is the ear, and the right side from the top to the bottom is you, the eyes, your undivided attention, and your heart. So you use your entire being to listen to God, perhaps and listen to other people too. We're called to pray. Max Lucado in The Great House of God says, "In the great house of God there's a furnace. This furnace affects the whole house, and your prayers fuel the furnace. Your intercession is coal in the fire. Your pleadings are kindling to the flames. The furnace is sturdy. The vents are ready. All that is needed is your prayer." Prayer is essential in this ongoing warfare. Pray long and pray hard. Pray for your brothers and your sisters, Ephesians 6:18. In James 5:16, it says we should approach the throne of grace with confidence so that we may receive mercy and find grace to help us in our time of need. The prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. Max Lucado says in Prayer, a Heavenly Invitation, prayer is the window that God has placed in the walls of our world. Leave it shut and the world is cold, dark house. But throw back the curtains and see His light. Open the window and hear His voice. Open the window of prayer and invoke the presence of God in your world. That's kind of exciting, invoking the presence of God. In conclusion, and just like Jesus, Max Lucado says, imagine considering every moment as a potential time of communion with God. Just pray where you are. Pray without ceasing, like 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says, and pray in the moment. Pray right at the moment with the person who has requested the prayer. So, what I'm challenging you to do is pray in the moment, whenever and however that moment may present itself. Whether it's email, text, Twitter, cell phone, telephone, in person, a Facebook personal message, however it is, pray in the moment. Because we may be the only connection to God in prayer that someone may have. We really need to pray immediately when they ask us to pray. We need to pray at that very moment. When I started this speech, I decided to do that, to pray at the moment. And I've been really amazed at how many opportunities God has presented in front of me to pray for somebody else's needs. 1 John 3:18 says, Dear children, let us not love with words or tongue, but with actions and in truth. So pray for me, and I'll pray for you, and we're going to do that right now. Thank you. And turn it on.